24, looking for his first win.
This is how a match between Jasnau and Jimmy Pritts.
Jasnau scoring 2 victories, 18 strikes, and as he did in the previous game, an opening strike. Now here is Jimmy Pritts Jr., Lawrence, Massachusetts native, living in Manchester, New Hampshire, and everyone is glad that he decided to continue on the tour.
Temperatures this morning right around freezing here in Philadelphia.
Yes.
Pritts got lucky good to the runs.
What a great shot, Chris, on that one. Now watch the action of the head pin. It'll hit with the ball. It'll go all the way to the sideboard and come back across and take out the 10. Watch the action of Jimmy Pritts. There it goes. Bye-bye, head pin. No, there's still some power left in it. Stays in play. He's in the match.
Young man that led 5 of the rounds here. 5'8", 180 pounds. I hit on that left lane. 3 seconds.
The man with a very short approach. Well, he rocks to get the weight back on the back feet. Gets a good rhythm. 5-step delivery. Shoulder high backswing. Good deep knee bend. Long slide. Releases that ball in the slide with just a medium amount of hook.
Jimmy's first appearance this year. Last year he was 4th in the Fairlanes Open. And here is the young bowler that was 4th right here in the King Louie Open a year ago.
On the return to the 70s in the extended
strike up, second frame.
Just a few minutes.
That is what we are holding out for. Brittany, thank you. All right, we got to get to some
Jasnau starts with the double.
Consistency.
Can we say that dozens of shots were fired, most of them from a
Jasnau out to a quick start. As you see, a 42-game tournament, 18 games in the qualifying round. Tommy Baker, who made the top 20 for the early leader after 6. Pritts took over the lead and has just dominated this tournament. In fact, at one time he had almost a 300-pin lead. Weber closed down some of that gap, but Pritts obviously ended up number 1.
3 in a row.
It's that 3 in a row.
Let's get a low angle replay.
We talked about 12 or 13. That's 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. When you get that kind of revolution on a bowling ball, those pins have no chance to stand. Pritts under the gun in the early going.
Investigators tell us Roxborough is located in what is
Double 10.
10 pin.
No doubt, Chris. Solid 10 pin. Pritts has the line on the right-hand lane. This is the lane that was the undoing of the cranker players such as Houston and Weber. But Jimmy Pritts will hit this lane pretty well. Ball solid in the pocket. Just gets an unfortunate break, as you said, the solid 10. But the key is going to be the left-hand lane. Pritts, can he hit the left-hand lane, is going to be the key to the whole match.
Okay, earlier we had Jimmy at age 28. You wanted to retire?
Well, last year I had a tough year, and this year started out being a tough year until this week. And I have a wife and 2 kids, and I had to seriously think about their future, and if I couldn't support them out here, then I had to go home and get a job, and I thought that way, and my wife talked me into trying it 1 more or 2 more weeks, and I thank God that she did, because here I am leading the tournament this week.
But he needs more luck here today, leaving the 7 pin. Joanne and their daughter, Amy.
And I'm sure it disappointed Jimmy Pritts. He makes the adjustment on the left-hand lane, hits the ball in the 1-3 zone, drives that 5 pin over into the 4-7 area. We've seen that 3 or 4 times today. Nobody has ever been able to carry it consistently except Jasnau.
Okay, the championship match is underway. Jasnau leading by 22. Coming to Len Dawson, Professional Football Hall of Fame this year in August. That's right, he anchors our 6 and 10 news here on our Kansas City affiliate. And he just happened to, that's his wife, Linda. Lynn happened to have gone to Purdue.
All of the smart ones go there.
Well, the good quarterbacks do, anyway.
He was great. Now, here's Jasnau, 22-pin lead, 3 strikes in a row, 4th frame.
strikes thus far for Mike Jasnau.
None of the passengers on board, 33 of them.
Mike Jasnau with that bright red bowling ball that doesn't look as the same as everybody else's bowling ball going down there. It turns white and red, but as the ball begins to go into a full roll, it drives all 10 pins in the pit. The pins are colorblind, and obviously they're reacting very well to this ball. 32-pin lead, 4 strikes in a row, championship match.
Writes down the details from Washington.
And then he left the 2-4 after the string of 4.
The Red House says today will go down as one of the most important days in modern American history.
Jasnau coming in light after 4 strikes in a row, leaves a 2-4 spare. Fairly simple to convert. There's only one person who can beat Mike Jasnau in this match, and that's himself. If he keeps his hand underneath the ball, doesn't try to spin it too much, he's going to be almost impossible to beat.
Okay, back up Jimmy Pritts. Named by his father for the baseball great Jimmy Fox. So his name is Jimmy Fox Pritts Jr.
One option is a 20%
Jimmy Fox Pritts needs to hit a few home runs with a bowling ball right now. He trails by 30. This shot will tell a lot about the match. I don't believe that Jimmy Pritts has as good a shot or trajectory of the pocket as you look at our top 5 money winners for the 87 season through 2 months. Walter Ray Williams, 50,000 rods out the top 5. And going back, you can see Randy Lightfoot, who's had a good year so far, and some of the other top players. What I'm saying is that Pritts does not have quite as good a shot to the pocket as Jasnau, so he must be perfect on this left-hand lane. This is a potent shot right here.
The 4-pin.
Chris, I had the good experience or bad experience of bowling on this championship pair last night in the last game. I needed a big game to make the top 5. Obviously, I didn't roll it. And the same thing happened to me that's happening to Pritts. If you send it wide on 19, the ball skids by. If you try to help it up, such as Pritts did on that shot, it goes high. A very difficult shot. As opposed to Jasnau, who's playing the what we call the deep inside line, rolling the ball very smoothly with a little more power and letting the ball set up in the pocket. Bowling is very much like putting. If you don't properly read the greens, you cannot make many putts. If you don't read the lanes properly in the sport of bowling, you can't get many strikes.
Back striking is Jasnau.
Just a strikes.
5 frames. And coming into this game, as we mentioned, he had a total of 18, including a big last game win over Pete Weber, 255 to 180.
Quintessential leading man of the 80s and 90s has passed away at the age of 65.
There's a young lady that knows what's at stake.
You guys really are cowboys. What's your problem, Kazansky?
Her brother can win his first PBA title.
You're everyone's problem.
If he can just keep striking. He has to keep his hand underneath the ball. Don't be too anxious. There's still 4 frames left.
And he lets 10 pin. Little body English on the part of his sister as well. You know, both Mike and Jeanette lost their father last year, so Mom is watching at home, and a win here today would certainly help her spirits.
You're right about that, Chris, as you see him leave a solid 10. Disappointed, part of the game. Just don't let this spare get away. So don't count this young man out. Once again, I said Jimmy Pritts has got the line on the right-hand lane, lane 20 here at King Louie West. He must continue to hit that lane and reach back for a little extra on the left-hand lane to make it a close match. 2 very important frames coming up.
Big Talkers. Singer Megan Trainor details her weight loss journey, what led her to becoming what she calls the healthiest version of herself.
7th frame strike for Jimmy Pritts, whose traveling buddy, Bob Hanley, will be knocked out of the Firestone today.
Regardless of who wins, because neither Pritts nor Jasnau are eligible for the final man field of 52 in bowling's 3rd jewel in the Triple Crown. Now, Pritts, a must shot. Let's see what he does. He has to throw it perfect. He's making an adjustment on the approach. Hopefully, it'll work. Big gamble right here in the match.
We hope you enjoyed this afternoon. Be sure to check your knowledge with me on
He's back in it.
Double in the same place.
Hit a deep bow. The ball into the pin.
No doubt about it. Jimmy Pritts with what we call just a tweener type ball, not the big hook, not the straight shot. A nice, smooth, even roll. He makes the adjustment, gets a strike. And you know what? Mike Jasnau, his opponent, knows also that Pritts has the line now. Let's see if that affects him in any way.
Jasnau
Strike
strikes.
for Jasnau.
Late.
Goes to the left side.
Years we've demanded more from insurance companies. They know we mean business.
Let's see what happens now. Remember we said if Jasnau keeps his hand underneath the ball, doesn't try to force the hook and top it, he'll keep the ball in the pocket. He's kept his speed around 20 miles an hour. He's kept his accuracy around the second arrow real well, but this is the biggest shot of his career.
Up to 5 pin.
And he knows what happened. His hand went over the top of the ball. You must keep your hand back in behind the ball. Here he gets too much spin when he tries to throw the big hook. The head pin goes to sideboard. He avoids the 2-4-5 spare, ends up with a simple spare, the 5 pin, but he's left the door open for Jimmy Pritts.
No monthly interest for 18 months until paid in full. Or receive a $250 Visa gift card when you purchase.
Now Pritts with that double shooting in the 9th frame. The shot coming on the right side of this championship pair at the King Louie lanes.
Absolutely a must strike in this frame. His chances will be accelerated tremendously if he strikes here of still winning the tournament.
Sleeping brings me joy. Its skin comfort formula acts as a barrier to help protect my skin. Tana, the world's leading incontinence brand.
Boy, has he found the line.
No doubt about it. Remember the last 2 weeks, the tournament leader has won the tournament. John Gannon, the True Value in Peoria. Last week, our tournament leader, Tom Milton, captured the Miller Lite Championship. Let's see if it can happen 3 weeks in a row. Our tournament leader, Jimmy Pritts, trails by 10 pins. If he strikes on this ball, the match will be all even the last frame.
The last 9 tournaments here, the tournament leader has won 6 times here at King Louie.
Much deserved and desperately needed spring break. This is where I want to be right here. This chair. That's
What a closing performance by Jimmy Pritts, the tournament leader. We are even level.
Chris, something that has never happened since I've sat next to you in the announce booth for 13 years is a tie in the championship match. Right now, we have a possible tie. Both players are going at a 2:28 pace as we enter the 10th frame for Jasnau, the 11th frame for Pritts. It is set up ripe for a tie match at 2:27, 2:38, somewhere in that area. Let's see what happens.
Countryside listings this spring compared to last year, so places that are more off the beaten path to really give you that space and time to connect. And they're bringing
He has strung 5.
You'll wonder why you need experience in sports. This man's been out here on the Professional Bowlers Tour for 5 years. He struggled through 6 frames, could not even come close on the left-hand lane, maintained his composure on the right-hand lane, made the adjustment on the left-hand lane in the 8th frame, and now he's in a position to at least lock himself into a tie in regulation. What a comeback.
So $250 round trip. That's for the
His wife, Joanne.
Did you book a flight?
Did not book a flight.
Will you see me?
We're going to do a little spring break staycation.
Oh, that's good.
6 in a row at the very end, and a 2:38 for the husband of that lady, the father of that young lady.
Straight arrow right into the hole. Jasnau coming up on the right-hand lane. Pritts finishes with 6 strikes in a row, 2:38. He cannot be beaten in regulation. Jasnau has not missed striking. He struck here in the 2nd, the 4th, the 6th, and the 8th frame. He has not missed striking on this lane today, Chris. It's the first time he missed striking all day.
Slid by, leaving the 1-2 sleeper 8. That's a toughie. After winning 2 matches impressively, But the comeback of Pritts. Woo.
Tremendous. Mike Jasnau, 11 strikes in a row on that lane, and just heartbreak in the 10th.
That's right, and a 214
Good match.
for Mike Jasnau.
Like and subscribe.